it's like, yeah, hi.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining us for another Witch Times Television. I'm Goddess Rhonda, and of course we have with us, as always, our beautiful Goddess Starr.
Hi, everyone. Good to be here tonight. Happy new moon and everything else. Good to see Goddess Rhonda. Look how beautiful. I love the blue color.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. So, as always, before we begin, we like to cast a circle of protection around us. All hail, our lords and ladies of the East, our brothers and sisters, our brother and patron, the sacred element of air, namaste. Divine honor, love, joy, peace, and respect to thee. We charge thee, please cause a barrier of protection through all of our walls that face your direction, from corner to corner and end to end. Let peace and protection reign herein. Thank you. So it is, so mote it be.
So it is, and so mote it be. All hail, our lords and ladies of the South, my brothers and sisters, my brother and patron, the sacred element of fire, namaste. Divine honor, love, joy, peace, and respect to thee. I charge you, please cause a barrier of protection through all of our walls that face your direction, from corner to corner and end to end. Let peace and protection reign herein. Thank you. So it is, so mote it be.
So it is, so mote it be. All hail, our lords and ladies of the West, our brothers and sisters, our sister and patron, the sacred element of water, namaste. Divine honor, love, joy, peace, and respect to thee. We charge thee, please cause a barrier of protection through all of our walls that face your direction, from corner to corner and end to end. Let peace and protection reign herein. Thank you. So it is, so mote it be.
Thank you, and so mote it be. All hail. Wait, hold on 1 second. Sorry, guys. All hail, our lords and ladies of the North, my brother and sisters, my sister and patron, the sacred element of earth, namaste. Divine honor, love, joy, peace, and respect to thee. I charge you, please cause a barrier of protection through all of our walls that face your direction, from corner to corner and end to end. Let peace and protection reign herein. Thank you, and so mote it be. So it is.
So it is, so mote it be.
I'm so hot. Tying my hair up a bit, sorry. It's so hot.
And we now bring down the divine white light from the sacred source of all well-being and fill all of our spaces with peace and protection always. So it is, so mote it be.
So it is, so mote it be. All right.
All right. Here we are.
Good to be back, right?
I'm guessing that for a lot of you out there, the Mercury retrograde foreshadow, which is kicking butt,
oh my goodness.
Uranus and Taurus kicking butt, and all the other stuff going on right now, we have to be calm.
Ever diligent, diligent, and as calm as ever, because you know what? It's going to happen anyways.
And it's going to be fine. Stressing does not help.
Yeah.
So we're going to be calm, cool, and collected. So we are starting off with, first I want to say hello to everyone in the chat room.
Yeah.
We're so glad, as always, to see you. We want, after this show, we won't be back for 2 weeks because I'll be heading to New York for
Witches Fest.
For Witch Fest. And so we wanted to at least get this show in, even though we've got a million things happening. We wanted to at least get this show in to be with you guys. And hopefully, if you are in New York on the 14th and the 15th, hopefully you can come see us, you know, at Witch Fest.
That would be so nice. That would be so awesome.
Where would we be on both days, Starr?
On the 14th, we are going to be at our usual place on Astor Place between Broadway and Lafayette. And that's right in the Lower East Side, like the like dead center, like East Village kind of a thing. And it's one of the main vein of Manhattan. So I think it's wonderful to be there. And then on the July 15th, on Sunday, and on both days, we have a ton of workshops that are all free 45 minutes in length for you guys to all enjoy these amazing workshops from, there's so many of us, from 13 of us, I believe. And that's on Saturday. And then also on Sunday, the same thing. And on Sunday, it is at West 39th between 9th and 10th Avenue in Hell's Kitchen. All right. So I cannot wait to see, hopefully, many of you there to come out and enjoy the day. Just be us, dress in the, that costume of all, either witchy or the summer solstice, the sprites, the fae, whatever it is that you guys want to come out and just be you and come and enjoy being among all of us. Okay.
Absolutely. All righty. So let's get with our first topic tonight, which is, if you were in a space
yeah.
where you had, let's just say you went on a walk somewhere, and you went on a walk in the desert, not that anybody's going to do that, but you went on a walk in the desert, and all of a sudden you needed to cast a spell really quick, and there was nothing. You didn't have anything with you. You had no crystals on. You had nothing. You just were walking around with like no clothes on in the desert. I know that makes no sense.
Oh my gosh. Now you made it worse. No clothes on. Oh my God.
In the desert. And you're like, gee, I need a spell to cool myself off. But I don't have anything. So we'd like to know, what would you guys use if you went out somewhere and you had no tools and you had basically nothing? What would you do? And what method would you use to cast a spell for whatever it is that you're trying to do? And we're going to watch you guys. We're going to watch your
answers,
responses in the chat room. Oh, look, I'm sorry to get off track. Goddess Monica said we should try to do a show from Witchfest. Maybe we can figure something out.
We've tried to do that a few times. Remember, we kept saying we should do that, and for some reason it's so
really
busy.
Hard
it's very hard. We would love to. We would so love to, because we would love to be able to kind of show you guys the festivities and everything, but it's the kind of event that's so busy. We're so caught up in everything that we're doing, and everyone and the kids, and it's just all of it. It's just so overwhelming in some ways that enjoyable, but overwhelming for us who's putting it on. That it's hard for us to do that. We have tried. We've thought about it, and we have said, okay, we're gonna do this.
We're gonna do it. But once you get there and you get started, there is no downtime.
Yeah, it's just like one after the other. Yeah,
because there's just so many things happening, so many people talking to you, so many people asking questions, so many people wanting products. It's just too hard. Maybe one day we'll figure out something,
how to do it. Yeah,
maybe try a pre-show before we start.
Yeah. It would have to be, I think, something along the lines of us, like, say, I don't know, half an hour out of the whole day, kind of say, can someone watch what we have, our booth or something like that, so we can just kind of let people know this is what's going on at Witches Fest. We'd love to have had you guys so you could see what's going on and everything.
What's going on live. We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out somehow.
There's a resolution to everything, and we'll figure it. All right.
Yeah, so one of these days.
One of these days, maybe next year. We'll figure it out. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and get back onto our topic about what you would do if you had to cast a spell. Maybe you're on the train, maybe you're in the subway, and you don't have anything, and you need something, to do a spell. What would you do? So, what would you do, Goddess Starr?
Oy vey. I just said, never mind. Actually, when I start thinking about the fact, the part where you said the desert and all of that, and to me, there's so much around us. I mean, it may look like desert, barren land, but I mean, you've got the earth around you. You've got all those things. I honestly, other than to try to find somewhere that I can put myself in the shade, which honestly, I'm allergic to the sun. So I have a hard time in the sun. So I'm going to have to find somewhere to be in the shade, because that kind of throws me off a bit. So, aside from trying to find a shaded area, I'm going to try to see if I can find something, because if I have to skin something alive and put it over my head somehow. But anyways, aside from that, I think I would kind of try to use I know in the desert there's cactus. I try to use that as water. Um, the dirt there, of course, is earth. And I just kind of use my mind and my imagination, and come up with the different spells or chants that I can do that will take me through until I can find a shade or the rest that I need, or the spell to work for to get me out of there safely to where I need to be. That kind of a thing. I mean, honestly, I would use whatever's around me. I'm the type of witch, and I know you are too, that wherever we are and whatever that's around us, we will adapt it to whatever our craft is. So that would mean whatever is around me, I will use that for what it is. And it's part of being that warrior witch. Warrior witches tend to not see anything as a negative per se, but use it as a counter instead. Um, and use it as part of your tools. Whatever it is that someone may think is negative, you're sitting there thinking of, okay, what can I counter with that? What can I handle with that? So you have to use your imagination a lot, which a lot of us that are witches, we have that. We're very good at visualization and using our imaginations in a creative manner. So that's some of the things that I would do. And I think, one way or the other, we'll survive. What about you?
Okay, so
That's off the
actually,
top of my head, though.
that's no, and you did really well. You did. You answered it the way you should, because that's actually a trick question. You're never without tools. Even if you were in a box, if someone stuck you in
Yep.
a paper box, don't forget paper's made out of wood, you are never
Yep.
without tools. And even if you were in a glass tube, let's say you got taken prisoner and they put you in this glass box. Glass is made from sand, which is made from the earth. But more importantly, you've got your atome right here. Here's an atome. This is your main power source. Your little atome is your finger. So unless they chop your fingers off, all of them, you got a wand, right? You've got your mind that you can visualize. You've got your emotions, because we put our emotions into things. You've got deity that you can pray to. That's like, look, I don't have anything. I don't know what to do. I'm scared. I'm taken
You
prisoner
have everything.
of glass, and I need somebody to help me. There is no such thing for us witches as not having tools. My mother used to say, one of the things she used to beat into her head was, if you're going to make it in this world, you better be able to improvise. You better be able to improvise and adapt and do what you have to do. Find
In a
something
heartbeat.
to make it
In a
work.
heart. In a heartbeat.
And this is the way we have to be resourceful as witches. We have to be resourceful. I'm sure there's plenty of witches listening right now that has gotten into a tight spot and had to pull a rabbit out of your hat to make something work, to resolve a situation, and you did it because you were resourceful. One of the reasons why the universe puts us in these situations is to really help us to grow and evolve. Because if we weren't challenged, we wouldn't really evolve our craft. Why should we? We have money, we have everything, we don't need to. But if you're thrown into the abyss and you need to get yourself out of there, that is going to give you the incentive, the impetus to come up with something. It's going to force you to be introspective, to figure out what to do, to be creative, use your imagination, look at what's around you, and figure out how you can use it. That's what actually helps us to grow and evolve, is our challenges. Everything is an opportunity to better our craft or to master our craft even more. And so you're never without tools. And actually, you should take advantage of every challenge that you have to turn it into a learning experience as to how can you fix it? What kind of magic can you do to help yourself? So I'm going to give you just like a small example using myself. I like to use myself only because I never want anyone, Goddess Starr and I speak for both of us, we never want anyone watching the show to think that we think we know it all. We don't have the itises. We are just as fallible. We, have challenges just like everybody else. And so we like to share our challenges to let you know we're in this with you. We're down there fighting our way out of the abyss if we have to. Not always in the abyss. A lot of times we spend up here, having a good time and stuff. But we just want you to know that we have our challenges too. So anything, with all that said, to use myself as an example, the past couple of weeks, my darling Mars, who I use who's just really energizes me, is in retrograde, sadly. And I have just been, and this is not the time for me to be dragging my ass. I have so much stuff to do. I don't have time to be tired. And it's just hard for me when I don't have the Mars energy to fuel me. So I'm like, what am I going to do? My Mars is gone for 2.5 months. It goes direct, I think, August 27th, but it's going to take until like mid-September to come back. I'm like, I've got all this stuff to do, all these projects this summer. What am I going to do? I got to do something. I need that energy. And I said, well, let's see. I love Mars so much because Mars is very fiery and I'm very watery. I have so much water. You know, I'm a Pisces. My name Rhonda means river. My middle name Lynn means waterfall. I'm a Chinese water tiger. So I need the fire to help me. I'm like, I don't have my Mars. What am I going to do? I'm exhausted. And I was like, well, let's see. The sun rises every day and that's full of fire. So I've been literally scooping sunlight and filling myself with sunlight to fuel myself because I need fire to help me and to balance me out. And so that's where it was my choice to, I could either just say, oh, well, I guess I'm just going to be exhausted. So I'll just sit and watch Netflix until the middle of September and do nothing. Or I can inject myself with another source of fire, which is the sun, which is an ever-present source of energy. It's one thing we love about the sun. It's there every single day, ready to pump us up. And so with my Leo rising, I'm fueling myself with that. And so we have to be resourceful as witches. So let's take a look, Goddess Starr, in our chat room and see what other innovative and genius ideas that our lovely family has been kind enough to share.
Let's see what everyone is saying. Okay.
What we got here. Okay, we've got Cool Flavor. Hi, Cool Flavor. Hi, everybody. First, I want to say hi to everybody.
Wow, look at everyone in there. You guys are busy in the chat room tonight.
You're busy.
It's so
I'm so glad that
you
you're
guys. Look at that. And Kenya, who's going to be at Witches Fest, is there. Hi, Kenya. To have you in here, girl. Oh, my goodness. CJ Faust is what she's calling herself tonight.
Oh, is that Kenya?
Yeah, she said Kenya Koviak will be there. Or is that, wait a minute, hold on. I think she's saying Kenya Koviak will be there representing Michigan too. Yay. Awesome. Okay, so it's not Kenya. It's someone who's saying that Kenya is going to be there. Okay, got it. Sorry, I misunderstood, CJ. I'm so sorry. Yes, Kenya is going to be there, and we are so happy to have her coming in.
Very happy.
Down. We are so proud to have so many people from all over the United States and even England too coming in. It's just an honor, and it's so amazing to be with all of these people, and they're all offering such amazing information for you guys. So I can't wait for you guys to come on down and meet us. Okay, go ahead, sweetie.
And it's good to see you, Raven and Monica and Judy and Cool Flavor and CJ and everybody in here. Because I know a lot of people, and Kim, I know a lot of people are shy and don't want to come into the chat room. And we want to tell you, for those, because a lot of times I'll look, it's like, look at all these people who watched us, but they didn't come into the chat room. You are so welcome in our chat room. You never have to worry. We don't pick on anyone. We judge no one. And if you have something, if you want to say something or share something, by all means, please know that you are welcome here. We're a family, and we welcome you to join our chat room. I don't know how to join it if you're looking at it on the phone. Maybe someone here who does that can write those instructions out, because I don't know how to personally do it unless we're on the computer. But anyway, let's do that.
And I have to say, additionally to what Goddess Rhonda just said, I have to say we're very proud of the kind of family that we create in the chat room, because they're always so supportive of one another. It's the most amazing chat room of people that come in, and they just automatically all support one another in here and welcome one another in here. And I think, they're just some of the best people in here. So I think we're very proud to have that and be able to say to someone, come on in and join us and be part of the family, kind of a thing. Okay.
Really, you are welcome. No worries. No one's going to pick on you. We do not judge anyone. So come on in and join us if you like. All right. So we've got Goddess Monica, who says, breath and intention. Say your intention, breathe in energy to transform the intention, blow it out to set it. Awesomeness. Good for you. If you've got breath in your body, you can cast a spell.
Yep.
Excellent, Goddess Monica. Excellent, excellent, excellent. We've got Goddess Judy. I would use the elements to my disposal. Desert is earth. I would use cactus for water. And if I could find stones and use my breath air to make a fire, you got that right, Goddess. Excellent, excellent, excellent.
Yeah.
Cool flavor. I'd strike up a conversation with my deities, maybe write my spell in the sand and draw a circle around it. You guys are awesome. I'm so glad to be seeing what everyone is saying. Thank you
Yeah.
for the beautiful hearts, Dawn. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's see what we've got here. Kim says there is power everywhere. I would gather some stones and natural things that resonated to set my circle, then follow my intentions. Follow my intentions. Oh, on the subway, that's a different story. Well, one of the good things about New York City is you can pretty much do anything and no one's going to pay you any attention. You could be, they'll just say, oh, she's crazy and ignore you. You can come onto the subway dressed as a fairy with your face and skin painted
Yep.
purple, start dancing around, and
Yep.
no one will even glance at you.
Well,
And
and even if they do, you know what they'll do? They'll more than likely ask you, "Where are you going? Is it what is it about?" and try to join you.
well, those are the ones that want to get in on the purple body paint. But for the most part, New Yorkers will ignore you if you're, no matter how you're acting. So you can do pretty much anything you want on the subway. No one's going to pay attention to you. Let's see. Cool Flavor says, yesterday, I went around my neighborhood to find wild yellow flowers for a spell. Sometimes, if you want to find something, all you have to do is go for a walk and follow your intuition. Beautiful. Monica says, I've used breath to help toddlers throwing tantrums in restaurants. Breathe in, give this child peace, breathe out, and so it is. And you know what? I am so going to try that, because if there's one thing that drives me nuts, is children throwing a tantrum when I'm trying to have peace. So I will try to deal with that. I'll try that one day. We've got Alonzo, who says, I had to deal with a terrible landlord once. So I went outside, grabbed a rock, told it exactly what I needed, and the landlord changed how he interacted with us. It was a 180
Hey, there
turnaround.
you go. There you
Beautiful.
go.
Beautiful, because
Yes.
rocks, all these crystals and stones that we wear, they all have spirits in them. If you look into them, you'll see them looking back at you, and they are here to serve you. Let's see. Hi, Peggy. Good to see you. And Goddess Monica says, Goddess Ron is 100% right. They're very welcoming of even a Catholic witch. Absolutely. We are. We will welcome you no matter what your spirituality is. You're welcome here with us. And how you doing, Kale? Good to see
And I think Goddess Monica said about doing live feeds on Facebook with Witch Fest. Like I said, we will try our best.
you. Yeah, we will. We'll try. We'll figure it out one day. It's still a work in progress, as everything is. But it really is a fabulous. I mean, it's like my favorite place to go. I so look forward to this all year, is to just suddenly be immersed with all of my magical family and friends and people coming, and the atmosphere and the music and the other entertainers and the dancers and the vendors. And it's just, and it goes so fast. It's like you get there and poof, the day is gone. It's really an amazing event, and I'm really hoping if you can come out, please do. You will not be sorry. We promise you, you will not be sorry. You will really and truly enjoy it. All right, so let's take a look and see what our next thing is that we're going to talk about, which is, do witches need to be more self-centered to truly manifest all that they want? Now, let me tell you why we came up with this one. And the reason is, and me personally, we hear there's a lot of, there's a word I'm looking for and I can't think of. I guess I'll just call it stock comments when you're in the metaphysical world, like, oh, whatever you put out there, you're going to get back 3 times, which is bullshit. Sorry to say it like that, but that's not true.
I don't believe in
And, or, you have to get rid of your ego. It's your ego.
that. Oh my
And
God.
a lot of people take that the wrong way, because I hear that, oh, it's the ego. It's this ego thing. I got to do something about my ego. Well, we as spiritual people, we can take that the wrong way. and think that it means that we're just supposed to be walking around humbly. Because when you say, oh, your ego, you're like, oh, I can't be full of myself. I can't come off conceited. I just have to be humble and things like that, which also goes along with getting back what you put out there, which is also tied to your ego. When we talk about your ego in the metaphysical community, and yes, there are people, the people that Goddess Starr and I say have itises.
That's different.
To do something and, calm their itis ego butts down. But for the most part, most of us who are witches of service, our problem with our ego is not so much that we're so full of ourselves, it's that we compromise it. We're telling the universe, because we put so much out there to help other people to our own detriment. Like, people call us up, oh, I need help, and can you please listen to me, and things like that. We may have things we have to do for ourselves, but we'll put our stuff to the side, to try to do the right thing and help people, and constantly put other people in front of us. That is your ego telling the universe, you know what? I don't really need help. It's okay. You go ahead and help all these people like us. And then people are like, well, why doesn't my spell work? Well, because your ego is sick. Your ego has been compromised. And you actually need to pump your ego up and say, you know what? I need to get this spell done for me because I need to pay my rent, or I want to move forward with my business, or I want to be a $1 million, public witch, or whatever it is. And so we witches of service, actually, our egos need pumping up, because our ego, when you think about all of the witches out there, and I mean it's witches of service, because there are a lot of witches that dedicate all of their power to, elevate themselves. I'm talking about witches of service. We will get out there and fight the good fight for everybody, and then come home too tired to do anything for ourselves. And we're also saying, our ego is saying, well, maybe we're just not as important as everybody else. Translation, we're not important. And when we're telling ourselves of interior, we're saying we are not important. And that's what we are projecting to the universe, that it's more important that we help everybody else. So we're telling the universe, don't help me. That person over there needs your help more than me. Our ego is actually hurting us. And so when I say be more self-centered, I don't mean become conceited, like, oh, I am the best, goddess witch out there, and I can do everything because I'm the all-powerful, all-seeing, all-knowing goddess Rhonda. No. What I'm saying is, how is your ego? Ask yourself that. Are you putting so many people before yourself that your ego's just sitting there all sad and lonely and just like, oh, well, everybody's more important. I'll just slog along and do the best I can. And what you're really saying subconsciously said, I'm not important, or I'm not that important. And so that's what you're putting out to the universe. Is going to say, okay, well, if you feel like you're not that important, we'll just go over down the block over here and help this person, because they feel like they're important enough to get the money that they need, or to get the home that they need, or whatever it is that they need. We're going to go help them because they feel like they're important enough and you don't. So we're just going to go ahead and roll on, because that's your wish. That's what you're putting out there. So what do you think about that, Goddess Starr?
Oh, I agree with you wholeheartedly, because when I saw that, and I'm looking at it, I'm going, okay, not just self-centered. We have to be absolutely selfish.
Yes.
And that's the truth. We literally have to pencil ourselves in the same way we pencil everyone in, and say, this is my time to do whatever. And if anyone calls us in that time, literally go, no, I cannot answer it because it's wrong. This is my time. I've earned it. I've given everybody else, and that's it. I always call that our Christian training, because most of us came from that initial background of our families, born again Christians or whatever it is. And we grew up with a lot of that. And I remember, what's her name? Big Liz saying that you have to actually train some witches to leave the Christianity behind, and it's the truth, because that whole concept of whatever you put out, and you get back, and what else? Put everybody else before yourselves. All of that is what supposedly the ministers and the priests and all of them in those religions do. And they tell you and they bang it into your head. You grew up with it being ingrained in your brain and everything, that this is what you're doing. And a lot of witches take it and put it into their, and now that they've known that this is who they are, unfortunately, they can't seem to get rid of that aspect of it. And
Well,
we have to learn to train.
you know what that's from, actually? This is one of the things that also drives me nuts. Is that, yes, because no one knows more about that than me. I grew up in the church and taught Sunday school even, and the whole routine.
Me too. Me too.
Because, we have this idea, and keep in mind, almost every minister I've ever known drove a Cadillac, okay? They drove big cars and had nice houses.
I know.
Everybody else to starve yourselves and pay me 20.
Yes.
Just bringing that.
Yes.
Just saying. But also they give the idea that Jesus was this poverty-stricken guy who was just slogging through the desert and helping people with getting nothing back. First of all,
yes,
he was very well taken care of. He went from home to home. He was cared for. He was, we didn't have money and stuff like that back then. He was cared for. He was fed. He was well taken care of. Until, of course, the people that didn't like him came and did that, what was done to him. He was a warrior. He wasn't some weak guy, because I hate that they have the pictures and he's just hanging from the cross, like, oh, he's this weak guy. Let me tell you something. He was a badass magician, okay? He's probably one of the baddest ass magicians out there. He fed a multitude of people with one fish. He turned water into wine. You could touch his robe and be healed. He was a psychic extraordinaire. They called him a prophet. He was a psychic. He said, you're going to betray me. He told everybody what was exactly going to happen. He was not this weak guy who's just, going through the desert and giving of himself selflessly. He was kick ass. And it drives me nuts that people have this opinion of him. And they're like, well, we're going to be like Christ and we're just going to be nice and sweet. Christ went into where the money tables were, went in there, knocked all the tables over, told everybody else off because they were conducting business on the Sabbath. He was not some weakling. He was extremely strong, and he knew what was going to happen to him. It was preordained for him to somehow, through what he went through, somehow it helped us. So it wasn't even like he just let himself be captured and, blah, blah, blah. He was doing it because in his mind, he was dying for our sins to help us. And so it drives me nuts when people are like, well, we're going to be more Christ-like. And
I know. I'm like, goodness.
He was not just that. Humble dude. He was a badass warrior. And so let's get that straightened out right there. And the other lie we tell ourselves, as although I've never said this, but I know a lot of people do, because I heard it today from someone, I had to correct them right away, is we say, oh, when I give, I expect nothing back. That's a load of crap. Yes, you do. Because whenever someone says that to me, they'll say, I did this for this person and I did this for that person and they just used me or they took advantage of me or they did this and they did that. But when I give, I expect nothing back. Well, obviously, since you're so angry, you do expect something back. Because if you didn't expect anything back, you wouldn't be sitting there angry. You're not just saying it matter of fact that they did this and they did that and they just want me to do everything for them and blah, 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 blah. But I know when I give, I'm supposed to expect nothing back. Oh, no, that's not true. Unconditional love and unconditional giving belongs to your children. Okay?
Yep, that's all I got for them.
Can piss you off to no end, but you still love them and you will still do what you can to help them. Those are the only ones that
differently. That's all.
Nobody else. Yeah. Nobody else gets that perk, except my cats. My cats can break something and I still love them anyway. So they get unconditional love and unconditional giving. When we say we expect nothing back, what are you telling the universe? You are
oh my goodness.
I am here to be at the doormat for the world. I am the energy buffet, the 24-hour energy buffet to anyone who wants to come and take my energy for themselves, and I expect nothing back. Well, that's what you're telling the universe. I'm going to do all this work, and I expect nothing. And the universe will say, okay, then we're not going to give anything back. That's what you expect, and that's what you want. No problem.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think it's important for us as witches to tell ourselves the truth and to work on healing our ego and realize it's okay to expect that, to expect, if nothing else, appreciation for what you have done, recognition for what you have done for people, and to get good things back for your labors. When you go to work every day, you don't tell your boss, well, I'm just going to sit here and work for you all day. You don't have to pay
For
me.
free, yeah. I
I'm
don't
just
need anything back.
you for yourself. That's what you're saying to the universe when you're like, well, I'm just going to give and I expect nothing back. That's a load of crap. Yes, you do. Now,
Yeah.
there are people out there that really do believe that, and they're happy with that, and, good for you. But for the most part, that is not true. What do you think about this topic, Goddess Starr?
Absolutely. And that part that you said, I know, it's okay. When you get to that part with the Christ too, when I was about to say that part, was what people do not realize is he knew, as a seer, he knew what was going to happen. But he also knew it made him evolve into a bigger, badass, more magician. And that was because he knew, well, the end result is I'll be even bigger and badder than before.
Right.
He had to evolve. It's the same thing with us. When we say we're not being self-centered, we are being selfish. We have to be. And setting up that time for ourselves and being able to say to somebody, without any qualms, I'm sorry, I can't do that right now. I'll talk to you later. Because you have to take the time for you, because you have to evolve too. If you don't do that and take the time to replenish and evolve and get for you, then, like you said, you're giving to the universe and telling them that this is what you want and expect from life.
Right.
And I'm not expecting to evolve. I'm not expecting to become more. The whole idea of a warrior witch is that all of it is you being and doing what you are supposed to do for you to evolve. A witch cannot stay stagnant. If they stay stagnant, that's where they're going to be. That's all they're going to get, and that's all they're going to expect. They have to evolve and adapt. That's what, we talked about that. I think I called it adaptation.
Mm-hmm.
I told you. I think I called it adaptation. Girl, I started saying that's such a warrior witch. When we evolve and adapt,
Yes.
that's what you have to do. So all of that is that. And yes, a lot of us, unfortunately, take that Christ-like or Christian thing straight into your witchcraft without realizing it. They don't even realize the words that they're saying, turn the other cheek. They're not saying the words, turn the other cheek, but they're passive aggressive with it and all the different things. But that's what you're doing. You're not choosing to say the words because then you realize, oh, that's very Christian-like. So you don't say I'm turning the other cheek, but you actually do it.
And there was a reason that he said, turn the other cheek. He wasn't saying, oh, turn the other cheek and let yourself be beat down. He's saying, if you smack me on this cheek, go ahead, hit me on this cheek too, because the universe is about to come down on your ass like a hammer. So do your best, do your worst. It is not going to even come close to what's going to happen to you for harming me. And that's what it just drives me nuts. And, they will use guilt, and that's the whole thing of having Christ. He's all emaciated, he's hanging from a cross, which really annoys me. They should be perpetuating all the good things and how strong of a warrior magician that he was. But no, he's there. He's here to carry all of our burdens. You know what? Don't feel guilty about that, because that was his choice to do that. He chose to do that. Nobody made him do that. But it's been, when I was growing up, and this was really bad, especially because I'm such a strong, involved empath, to have a minister, when I took my hypnotherapy classes, one of the teachers that was talking, he says, when you go into a church, they set it up to make you feel inferior. First of all, you're sitting down there in the pews, they're not even individual chairs, you're sitting in the pews. The minister is all the way up on this platform.
Yep.
All the way, he's all over you. It's all huge.
He's on the pulpit, so he's looking up.
He's wearing these special robes or the special clothes that they wear, and talking down at you because he's looking down and you're looking up from the pews because he's up there. They are setting you up automatically to start feeling inferior just with that, and to start feeling guilty, and to feel like that minister is the one who is all powerful. And when I was growing up, you treated ministers like they were just the best thing on earth.
Yeah.
as they
Like gods, kind of. That's what people did. And people still do.
and they still do, and they still will do that. And so when we see I really want to change that perception, because they use that, and I'm sure Christ must be up there like, I can't believe I went through all this crap,
And
and
people
this
are
is
still,
this is
yeah.
the thing I get. This is what I get back for this, you know. But they need to stop that. But it is important for us, because many of us witches do come from a Christian background, and many witches come from the New Age background where everything is unicorns and rainbows, and you're supposed to be very humble and not take money for the work that you do, and just basically be glad to be alive. Nay, that's not true. And that has come from a religious dogma that only serves the ministers and those people in that hierarchy, and not you. You are supposed to, Christ said, you will go on to do greater things than me. And he was a magician, a psychic, and a healer. That means let's go ahead and do that. And it is okay to accept money for that. If you're out there saying, I'm just going to do all this magic for you and pray for you and heal, but I don't expect anything back, remember. And if you choose to do that, that's, no judgment here, but don't expect anything back. Real seriously, don't think that the universe is going to say, oh, well, look how nice that is. Because there are a lot of really nice persons in really dire straits because they expect nothing back. And so that's really important for us. We want to just kind of bring that out there, because I've heard that again today.
Oh, yeah.
That,
Yeah.
I do so much. I do this, I do that. And I help this person and I put myself out there. Nobody's ever there for me. And I'm constantly doing for others and doing for others. But I give and I didn't expect anything back. If you're that angry, you're expecting quite a bit back. And so it's important for you to be honest with yourself and say, hey, universe, I did this, and this. Can I get a return, please? Can I get some dividends on the stuff that I have invested in? And that's okay. The universe say, okay, here you go. Here's whatever it is that you need. But if you're walking around saying, I expect nothing back, then we are here to tell you, expect nothing back.
Yeah.
That's basically the way it is. So, Goddess Starr, it's your turn to read what's happening in the chat room.
Oh, okay. Let's see what everyone is speaking about. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Let's see. Cheryl says, hey, everyone. And Callie says, good evening, everyone, as well. Judy said, Goddess Judy said, even in the Bible, it says, ask and you shall receive, and giving permission to go for it. Plus, many of the stories talk about how we are blessed with gifts. And if we don't use them, shame on you, or shame on us, rather. And she's right. It says all those things all the way through the Bible, but at the same time, it's counterproductive in how they say it, because that's how they wrote it, to make you feel that you have to be guilty about being selfish or not asking for anything in return. But we walk around with it when people do not tell us thank you for the things that we've done or anything like that. You do feel as if you were used and spat out, and you get angry, because that's just the way human beings are.
Yeah.
So when somebody should be saying thank you for whatever it is, and you put out good things into the world, whatever it is you're doing, and you feel happy about it, but you want also to expect back some of those happiness and all those good stuff that you're giving out. It's natural human beings to reciprocate that, so we have to start doing that. And then Fatima says, yay, glad I caught this one. And then Goddess Peggy said, Cheryl is my friend. I'm at her house watching y'all. Okay, awesome. Good to have you here, Fatima. And Cheryl, there you go too. And Judy says, I have been taught at a young age how our life is our destiny, and we are put here not just to help others, but to help ourselves grow.
Right.
Exactly, and evolve. Without that, you're not going to be able to evolve or move up. Let's see. And Monica says, self-advocates. Yes, I needed to be reminded this today. Good. And the point being, as Goddess Judy said, being to get ourselves to a higher level to be with the Creator. All of those things help you. And then Fatima says, reminds me of something Ayn Rand wrote, The Virtue of Selfishness. It struck a chord. This is true. And then Monica says, helpful of others without detriment to ourselves. Absolutely. Um,
Absolutely.
and she said, yep, they expect gratitude and deference for giving. And then Fatima says, wow, the energy buffet of the world. Yes. And then Monica then said, I give because it makes me happy. I expect this should make me feel good. If it doesn't, you'll get shit. And I don't. Good for you, Goddess Monica.
That's right.
And then she says, I work for a price, not to be taken advantage of. Thank you, goddesses. Great. And then Cool Flavor says, Christ have so much good work to do. The universe doesn't beat them up making them work endlessly for food and shelter. Christ get what they need so that they can continue. Okay, got it. Yes, that's true.
Absolutely.
And then Goddess Jazmine Moonglow says, good evening, Goddess Starr and Rhonda.
Good
Oh,
evening.
excellent. Good to have you here, Moonglow. And then Peggy says, I never expect anything back, but I always thought that what you put out comes back to you tenfold. Yes and no. I mean, I don't, but
Let's just ask this question, Goddess Peggy. I want to ask you, and if it's true, please tell me. Have you found that to be the case? That whatever you put out there, that you get back tenfold.
Yeah.
Let us know if that's true, because people, it's the party line, the metaphysical party line. Oh, just be humble, do everything.
I don't believe in that entirely. I'm sorry.
Anything back. You'll just get back what you put out there. I personally have found that's not the case. But if you have found that to be the case for you, rock on, and I'm very happy for you. But I would like to know if you have found that to be the case. If
any of you, not just her, any of you, if you have found that to be the case, please do enlighten us, because I find that would be awesome if it does. Because I honestly do not, and we've discussed this at length, right, Goddess Rhonda? Yes. I have not found that to be the case at all.
Me either. I have found that the more I give, the more people will take from me.
Absolutely, because they just think that they have the right.
Yes, they think they just have the right, and then they come to expect it. When you finally start saying no, oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
My attitude, I pencil my stuff in on my calendar. I make appointments with myself because I have things to do. And Goddess Judy, I actually loved what you said, Goddess Judy, about how we have to do what we have to do for ourselves to help ourselves evolve. Think about it this way. If you are always doing things for other people and not focusing on yourself, how are you evolving spiritually if you're not doing the things you're supposed to be doing for yourself? You're helping everybody else to evolve and their souls to grow or to move forward in life. But what about yourself? At the end of the day, are you going to be stuck, still in the first grade because you helped everybody else get to the second grade? You have to think about stuff like that. Go ahead, Goddess Starr. We've got some more.
No, you're absolutely. Oh, we finished. That was it. It was after
we had a few more comments. First, we want to say hello to Sophie the cat.
Okay, hold on. Yes. She said, Sophie the cat said, I believe, right? And okay. Oh no, there's more after that. When did that come up? Okay. And then Judy says, I am thinking law of attraction. Doing positive creates positive. Thinking negative begets negative. I have helped so many in healthcare. Happy to do so gratefully. Grateful when that came full circle. Yes,
awesome.
That's true. So that's a good idea there with that too. And then Monica says, I get plenty of what I've put out there as well as a lot of random stuff that I'm sure that I didn't deserve. See, that's the thing. I think you deserve it, and
what do you mean you don't deserve it?
There's no such thing as you don't deserve it. If you think it's random stuff that you did not deserve, it's just some other things that you've done without even realizing it. They're all deserved. You've earned it all, and you have the rights to it. Just accept it, glory in the whole thing, and wallow in it.
And because you deserved it. If you got stuff, and we're not saying that the universe is just going to ignore you completely and not give you stuff. Of course, if you are here of service, they'll do things. They'll pull you out of the abyss to help you. But when you get pulled out of the abyss, are you still standing in the same place?
Right.
they'll help you out. You'll get into an issue. They'll help you out and pull you out, but you're still standing. Once they pull you out of the abyss, you're still standing in the same place while everyone else is down the road.
Yeah,
that you have helped.
Yeah.
So it's one thing they're sure they'll help you to survive and pull you out because you're here don't forget you're working for them. You're working for them. They need you down here. And so they're going to pull you out and make sure that you're still combat ready and to get out there. But when you get that something back, is it just to help you out of a situation and then you're still standing in the same place? Or is it to truly elevate you and move you down the road to enlightenment? We help so many people that, yes, I'm grateful that if I'm short, for my rent this month, that someone will come along or something will come along and give me whatever deficit that it is that I needed to make up for that. But am I more prosperous or am I still standing in the same place? I got my
standing in the same place,
but I'm still standing in the same place.
Yeah.
I want to move forward. So anyway.
Yeah. And then I believe the last comment after that is Monica that says, I think you misunderstand me, goddesses. As a victim of childhood sexual abuse, I'm sure I didn't. Oh, okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Sorry. We did not know that part.
No, I thought you were saying.
No, I thought you meant,
good things.
Random good things that were coming. Okay. So definitely misunderstood. And yes, you're absolutely right. Did not deserve.
No.
Yeah. That's definitely not what we meant. Absolutely not. And one of the things you guys have to understand too, in going back to putting out and standing still, what we're meaning too is that when you're doing all of these things and pretty much you're standing still because we get home and you're so exhausted from everything you've done for everyone else, you only have time to go to bed so you can replenish your thoughts again to come back and start again all over the same cycle all over again. And it's great helping people, but you want to evolve. You want to move on and be that bigger, better witch that can help even more, but still you want to evolve and not just cover and survive or your rents or cover your things. But I want to not just be covering. I want to be able to say, I have a trip coming up. Oh, I can just book that. The money's all there. Everything's good. I'm way above and beyond. We don't want to just survive or say I'm covering or it just came back in certain amounts. What we're talking about is when you do it like that, that whole thing about getting back, and yes, not in the way you expected to, all of that is great for survival. The whole idea is we don't want to stay stagnant and survive or survival. We wish to evolve so that you can be elevated to a different level with it. And you should too. You should be aspiring to evolve to that level where you're not surviving. You have, and you can actually, then you can even share more of what you want to give because you have enough to be able to share and all those different things and keep evolving even higher. There's a difference in the two. And that's something that, a lot of it, we all find it very hard to do. And honestly speaking, I'm going to use us as an example, both Goddess Rhonda and myself, because we've talked about it. We've been through all of that, of the survival and all of that, and we don't want to be there anymore. We want to evolve and move on from there. We are seeing and we know what we have to do. And yes, we have taken the steps to be more selfish about it and say, I'm going to give this amount of time in the day for everyone else. And then I need to pencil myself in. Not forget pencil, pen in, because when you pencil it means you can be erased and put someone else in there. So I'm not penciling it in. I am pen in, putting a pen, ballpoint pen in. So it's not erased of what that time is for me. So that I can take care of me, so that I can evolve to be that better person and better witch, that warrior witch that I can then help even more.
Right.
That's what we're talking about. Yes, exactly. Monica just said, okay, before she said that, there we go. I missed that part. I'm so sorry. Someone said, hold on, let me go back. I didn't even realize people write so fast. Okay. Let's see. Reiki said it does pay tenfold. I know from experience. Okay, I'm glad for that.
I'm really happy for you.
Yeah, I'm happy for you. And Judy says, and perhaps the notion of do unto others, etc., is meant to be a better human, better to be a better human. Yes, that's true. So we can rise like the phoenix with a high. Absolutely. And especially in this atmosphere that we have right now, that's very toxic in this country right now. Yeah, do unto others, because you don't want to have be beaten down by anyone or looked down upon by anyone. If you do exactly as what you would want to have someone give back to you, maybe we'd be better human beings, as you said. And that's awesome. I'm glad you mentioned that. And then Judy says we are give a day off work called day of conscience, i.e. take care of yourself. You do. You have to take care of yourself. If you don't, you know that idea on the plane, we mentioned that many times, when they say if something's going wrong on the plane and you have to survive, give yourself oxygen first and then you can take care of everyone else. That's exactly what we're talking about. And then let's see. Monica said that's an interesting question. And then Peggy said, thank you, Goddess Starr. I think there was somebody that said something else. I think I missed it. Hold on.
While you're looking for that, I did want to comment on, I think it was Goddess Judy, who said, do unto others. I've changed that to do unto myself what I do for others.
Yes.
That's what I've changed that to. Because you can do unto others as you would have them do unto you, but they're not doing unto you what you are doing unto them.
This is true. This is true.
I do unto myself, what I have done for others. And that has actually helped me. And we've also got, someone asked a question. Jennifer, can I ask, will Joss paper work with Native American ancestors? I know it's off topic, but I don't want to leave them out. Sure it will. I use them for my ancestors. And, I have ancestors of every nationality. So
yeah.
Why not?
Okay, got it. I missed that one. I knew I missed something. I couldn't figure it out. It jumps.
Irish ancestors, Black ancestors, of course, Spanish ancestors. I mean, I use them for everybody. I'm not just going to single out one set of ancestors. Personally, there's very few people I think that have pure blood. So
there's no such thing. There's no such thing. All your ancestors, but I'm going to say it, but then it's up to you to believe it, because we may say there's no such thing and the ancestors are all of it, because we're accepting all of it. Because when I do my ancestors, and I know you do too, Goddess Rhonda, when we do our ancestors, we don't identify and go, my Native American, my Black. No, I am sorry. I don't. Because I know wrong. There are so many, and I am not going to identify them like that because they're my ancestors. Are you bloody kidding me? You're going to stand there and go, each different one? No, I'm not going to do that. So I'm simply saying to all my ancestors, and I call on all the different names of whatever their names were in the past, I call on all of them when I do it. And I don't care who they were. They were my ancestors. I don't care who they were, what they look like. My only concern is the kind of person that they were inside. That's it. Other than that, I'm cool with whatever it is, and I honor them all, because some were good, some were not good, and the ones that are not good, they're not invited, because I'm sorry, I don't have the time for any negative side of it. Right. So outside of that, it has nothing to do with race or anything, because there are so many, and I don't, like Goddess Rhonda said, there's no such thing, because we found we've evolved from so many different ways, or come out on indigenous to where you are, and you change your color or whatever based on where you are on the planet, and it has nothing to do with where you began. Right. So I'm going for all my ancestors. I'm sorry, I'm not leaving any of them out that did good and are good honestly in their heart. There you go. I'm not differentiating between them, so I'm gonna accept them all in that way and honor them. And the paper, whatever it is, one of the things I see it as paper in whatever form it is. It comes from the earth, the trees, whatever it is. And whatever form it is that's in my hand, that's with paper, I will use it for every one of them. They don't care. They honestly don't care. Human beings in the present time care. Human beings coming forward, or what they believed or whatever, and not even the ancestral human beings cared at the time. They were just doing it. It's human beings today, for some reason, that pigeonhole everything. And we have to stop doing that and just kind of go, let's go with what the past did and just do the honoring of it use whatever paper, and they know when you're calling out to them. They do not care what paper. They don't care what the background is, none of that, because they know that you're reaching out to them and you're honoring them at the same time. It's simple. It's none of it is that as difficult as, unfortunately, as humans give it the credence to, with all the different pigeonholing that they do. It's saddened, but in a way, and I honestly sit back sometimes and wonder if our ancestors look at us now and kind of go, really? You guys have not evolved enough. You went from not pigeonholing to pigeonholing everyone into these little pegs, and we thought you would evolve by now, and instead you're not. You're still doing this.
Right.
I think we as human beings need to really evolve, not just as the human beings, but I've always considered witches to be so more um, broader thinking, open minded, that we have to allow, just stop being the humans aspect of ourselves, and as in with the pigeonholing part,
Right.
and evolve. Allow yourself to evolve and grow with it, and just see it for what it is, and your ancestors will be there, of all races, all genders, that are good in their heart and want to see no harm come to you and see you evolve,
Right.
you know
Absolutely. I am 100% with that. And we also have here, hold on, I just saw it, then it scrolled a little bit. And we've got Judy
I
who's
know they kind of scroll down fast
to
and
be
you
better,
miss some of it.
elevate herself. That's awesome, Goddess Judy. But Jazmine Moonglow says, when I got diagnosed with breast cancer, I really have cut back on helping. I've helped people, and when I needed help in the past, I never got it from my coven. You know what, Goddess Jazmine Moonglow? What was it, 2005? It was a month after my husband died. I went to the doctor with a stomach ache, thinking I had an ulcer from the stress. And it turns out I had a 20-pound uterine tumor that almost killed me. And I realized, first of all, because the tumor grew inward, it just knocked my organs out of the way. And that's why I was in so much pain, because I had nowhere else to go. Nothing had anywhere else to go. And when the doctors were giving me all these dire things, you're going to die, you're going to bleed out, blah, blah, I was like, no, I'm not. The universe is letting me know that I have been so involved in everyone else's life that I didn't even pay enough attention to myself to know that there was a 20-pound tumor doesn't grow overnight. I was so out of myself and so into everyone else, I did not notice that I was dying. And that was my wake up call. That was one of the biggest wake up calls, and probably the biggest wake up call that I have ever had, that it is time. And don't forget, the uterus, that's your womb, that's your creation energy. I've been so busy creating for everyone else that I ran out of my own self-sustaining energy, and it almost killed me. So I am totally 100% with you that you have taken a pass and you are putting that attention on yourself, and you will get your health back. I got my health back, survived the surgery despite all the dire warnings and things like that. I knew I was going to be fine because I knew it was a wake-up call from the universe. But good for you, for even if that's what it took, for the universe to get me to realize I have to focus on
Yeah,
myself. And if
you
that's
have
what
to.
it took for you, then I can totally, totally, totally dig it.
And I
Okay.
and I agree with you all, and I'll tell you guys something, because I'm seeing it's not just one or two persons, but a few comments being said about not getting the help from either their covens or from the people that they thought they had, that had their backs, or whatever it is. Um, and I'll tell you guys something. I think, in a way, because don't forget, a coven is a group of people who agree on something and are there for one another in a supportive manner.
Right.
That's essentially what they are. And they just learn as a spiritual group how to grow and practice. And I'll tell you something. Isn't that what we're doing right here?
Yes.
I see you guys, and when I see your names, I don't know you personally, but when I see your names, I feel like I know you. I feel supported and elevated. And I think we have formed our own little coven here. And I think in whatever consistent way or form that we can help one another, we will reach out and do so. If we can in some way do it, and it may not be that person right next to you to give you that hug. Maybe it's a virtual hug. Or when we finally meet each other, which I cannot wait to meet all of you guys and give you the biggest hugs ever and just let you know that you guys support us and we appreciate it. Yes, we say that to you guys all the time because it's true and we love you guys. But we just wanted you to know as well, it's reciprocated in that way where we would love to support you guys. And I think you guys know that here, that we can, when we say to people, come into our chat room and you will get no one here judging you, we mean that because we can see it in how you are with one another and how you are with us, the support and everything else that comes with it.
That's right.
So, you know, you may not get certain things from the people around you because sometimes they're not taking the time to get to know you. It may not seem like it, but we actually take the time to get to understand and know each other just from the show, just from being in the chat room. Because many of you come back and you see the names and you go, oh, hi, Goddess Monica. Hi, Goddess Jennifer. You begin to expect to see each other. And that's a support system. Whatever it is, find your support system wherever you can get it. And maybe we not be able to reach out here all the time, but maybe on Facebook and privately or whatever. All we can do is try to help in as best as we can. But just to know that even if it's just there, it's there for you. Okay? Just so you guys know. Okay.
You know, and Goddess Jazmine Moonglow, we're just going to give you some extra words of support. Because I'm looking at your comments, and you have that poverty has made self-care inconsistent. When I am working, I can do more. The grief comes from never being able to put down roots and not feeling loved. You know, the other day, so I'm glad that you actually said that. And I don't even remember what it was that I was doing. I was in the mirror in the bathroom. I don't know if I was fixing myself up or whatever. And I was thinking to myself, you know, maybe I should consider getting back into a relationship again. And this huge voice inside of me said, you're not ready yet. And I'm like, what do you mean I'm not ready?
I know I'm not.
That's Rhonda talks to herself. Like, what do you mean I'm not ready?
I'm not.
And it's like, you don't even, the first thing you need to do is have a relationship with yourself and fall in love with yourself. Not just love yourself. You want to fall in love with yourself and treat yourself the way you want your next lover to treat you. You've got to set the standards for yourself. You don't want to go back into another, you know, lopsided relationship where you're doing all the cheering and helping and they're not. You want to fall in love with yourself before you let anyone come anywhere near you. And I looked, and I'll tell you, and I want everyone here to try this at some point tonight or tomorrow. And that's when I looked in there. I looked at myself in the eye in the mirror, and I said, I love you. And the energy that the mirror mirrored back at me was amazing. I felt the energy of love mirrored back to me. And I'm like, I wonder what other energy has been mirrored back to me that I never noticed before, you know? And so we have to fall in love with ourselves first, because that's what's going to help us to set the standard of what it is that the people that we're going to allow back into our life at some time. So I am actively working on I bought myself a couple of dresses. I treated myself to sushi. And, you know, even though it's like the old people like, well, that's a waste of money. Don't waste money on that. No, I bought some new lingerie for myself. I am treating myself the way I want my next lover to treat me. And I'm falling in love with myself. Now, there's people out there that are listening like, really, Rhonda, you're falling in love with yourself? You know, come on now. Absolutely. You know what?
But that's the truth.
I don't do it, then I'm going to end up in a crappy relationship because I have not set the standards of what being in love with me means. What do I want? You know, what do I want from that person? I have to know what I want. And first I have to be able to do that for myself so that I know even what to look for in that person.
Yeah.
And fall in love with yourself. Look in the mirror. Tell yourself how I love you. You're beautiful. You are so kind. You're generous. You're awesome. And that energy mirrors back at you. It's amazing the energy that will mirror back. There's a lot of things with mirror magic. We're not going to get into all that right now. But that is a part of mirror magic. And it can really, really help you. Take yourself out. Go take yourself.
I do that all the time. I tell people to do that. Take yourself to a movie, a dinner.
That's not Movie Pass, by the way.
Good for you. You finally got it. Yes, get Movie Pass.
Taking myself out on a date.
Take yourself to the movie.
buy myself things. That is where when because you typically, because I come from, when I was growing up, we had like no money whatsoever. And then after my husband, there's a lot of things that have gone on that have caused, I try to use my money responsibly. Now it's like, what? If I don't pamper myself, who's going to pamper me? I'm going to pamper myself. I buy myself flowers every week, roses I have out there, and fall in love with yourself first. I don't mean just love yourself. I mean literally fall in love with yourself. Tell yourself how wonderful and fabulous you are. Because maybe that is the lesson the universe is trying to teach us, is to have some true self-love, and to set the standards of what it is you're looking for in the people that come into your
Yeah,
life.
absolutely. You know what you have to do? That whole thing is not just fall in love with yourself. You literally have to court yourself.
Yes.
And I mean, for as long as you're alive, court yourself the way that you would want that partner, whatever that partner is, to court you, because you deserve that. I
Yeah.
am that prince or princess. I deserve to be treated well, the same as I would want to treat that other person, or how they would want to be treated. It's,
Yeah.
I have a chant. There's a part of a meditation that I do with people when with the self love, and it's the funniest thing. I work with people with so many things, but when I start working with them with self love, I have never seen people realize that they didn't love themselves.
No, and they start
They are
crying
so
too.
they start crying,
Start
they
crying.
start falling apart.
Yeah.
They find they can talk about everybody else and the love they have for them, but when it comes to themselves, they literally snot coming out their noses, and they're like, I don't know how. This is the hardest thing to do. Why is it so hard for us to love who we are, or as a person, and love ourselves? And that seems to be sometimes the hardest thing I can do to work with people.
Yeah.
And part of the chant and the meditation, I'm going to put it in the group after for you guys. I try to put it there in the chat room, and it was too big. It's like about 7 lines, but it's too big for there, so I'll put it in the group. But it's something that I think people should say, and I tell them to say this every morning when they wake up, to start to begin their day, and every night before they go to bed. We have to learn to love ourselves. The
Yeah.
reason I believe wholeheartedly that the reason that this country is the way it is right now. There are so many self-hating people. And what they do, rather than learn to love themselves or who's around them, they lash out in anger at everyone else.
Hmm.
And what we see is the hate spewing everywhere recently. And it's gotten worse. So it's like working on people to learn to just simply love themselves. Because if you love yourself, there's a lot more you can give out of that love to everyone else. I
Absolutely.
really believe that. So I think we
Absolutely.
all need to work on that, really work on that.
We do. And I see, Goddess Jazmine Moonglow say, if I am meant to do something on a grand scale, the universe would have put people on my path to get me to that place that hasn't happened. So I'm just going to use myself as an example again.
Goddess Rhonda, did I lose you? You said you're going to use yourself as an example, and then I lost you. Are you there? Oh, is it me that's frozen, or Goddess Rhonda? Could someone let me know? Yes,
Yeah,
I love what
sorry about that. My computer went out for a second. But what I
Okay,
was
all right. So
thinking
it wasn't. I was thinking, is it me?
no, it was
Um,
me. My
I love
computer.
what I love what they just said. Judy said, "I don't need to brag. I don't need to boast. I love all y'all, but I love me the most. Yay!
Oh,
Love
yay!
me. I
But
love that. Thank you. I
what
love
I
that.
what
Yes."
I was
And
saying
then
before, like,
Fatima said, "So true. I've been taking care of myself like it's a chore, but I haven't fallen in love with myself. It is never a chore to love yourself, sweetie. Never a chore. It is a chore if you allow it to be. And people have got to start loving themselves, because I used to think that was just not entirely true, or not needed. Not that it's not untrue, but not needed. But the more I work with a lot of my people that I work with, that I'm either my that I counsel, or that I work with, you know what I mean, our clients, um, is the more of them that I'm working on self-love with. And I have never seen people fall apart so much. They literally fall apart because they don't know how to love themselves. And that is extremely sad.
Yes, it's very sad. And I just wanted to, what I was saying before my computer so rudely cut me off.
It's okay, you're back, babe.
Was because the goddess Jazmine was saying, if I meant to do something on a grand scale, the universe would have put people on my path to get me to that place. That hasn't happened. Just here to be a helper. That's not true. Let me tell you, just using myself as an example, that I write about this in my book. In a 6-month period, I unexpectedly lost my husband, got diagnosed with that 20-pound tumor, and lost my career. Consequently, I lost everything, my home, everything. I lost everything. After all the work that I had done for people my whole life, I was left out on the road by myself. And I wasn't really by myself. I had Daddy to help me. But the important thing is, through that trial by fire that I went through, I emerged a strong, a badass goddess. I learned how to be more resourceful. I learned new spells. It caused me to look for new ways to help myself, new ways to develop myself, new careers to get into, took my hypnotherapy classes, got out there doing my healing, my psychic readings, all the things, my videos, all the things that I had to hustle because the universe put me in that position that I had to do that. And I know that they did that. They're like, Rhonda, if we don't do this, you
You're
are
not
going to
gonna
spend your
evolve.
whole life helping everybody else, and you are not going to evolve. And since you're not going to do this on your own, we're just going to go ahead and throw you out there in the middle of the desert with no shade and just a bunch of cactuses to sustain you. And let's see what you can do for yourself. And that
And you
forces
did.
me
And you
to get to
evolved.
where I am today.
And I'll
So,
tell you something. That's that whole part about evolving. And I'm gonna keep saying it. Human beings evolve when that they are at put in a perilous position
that's
or
right.
positions where they whatever it is that they need to do because they will not they get too comfortable where they are and they just sit like a stagnant little festering pool and they don't move forward in any way. They just stay there going, I'm comfortable. And if they're not put in, like you were put in that position, I've been put in certain positions, and then you just find yourself going, okay, fine. I will then turn around and this is what I'm going to do. You evolve. You're forced to evolve.
Right.
That's called adaptation. You learn to adapt, evolve, and move on because you become creative. And each step that you take, you will find you're getting stronger and more powerful, and that you're becoming more and more of that warrior witch, and you're getting more and more better because you are evolving and you're allowing, you know what that part is then? You have allowed yourself to evolve and you're allowing yourself to keep on evolving and not just staying one dimensional.
That's right.
And I love what people are saying. Unless I didn't move back. Hold on. Okay. I Fatima said, so true. I've been taking care of myself like a chore. But okay, I read that part. And Peggy says, Rhonda, woohoo.
Sorry about that.
And then Jazmine Moonglow said, I chalked it up to being a product of the selfish 70s, but that selfish 70s was a good thing. You were selfish for a reason. You had to go through that. It's evolving. You need to, and then Monica says, I am the most accessible corner. I am the most accessible corner of the universe I have. I honor the universe that I am, toes to nose, and everything else.
That's right.
All right. And Monica then said, in Uranus is in Taurus, we will evolve and advance our values. There you go. I think even the way the state is right now, I think it's putting everyone in a position to no longer be stagnant, no longer look on upon things, get involved in what's going on around us and evolve. We are being forced to evolve. It's the only time human beings tend to not sit and waddle in things, and they evolve. They're forced to adapt.
Yes, that's right. And I had to be put in that position. Otherwise, I would have just gone on just helping everybody else and not focusing on myself. So they had to do that, and it has evolved me tremendously. So I have no regrets about that. Here, let me just copy that really quick so I don't forget.
Yeah, I'm gonna maybe let me try to see if I can go to our group and put it in the group right now, because it's a chant that I work with meditation and everything else for people, a lot of my clients and everything. I think it would help people a lot. Let's see, the Witch's View, the Witch Times television, right? Where is it?
There it is.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to, yeah, when I get it, I'm going to put it in the group there for you guys. And I hope it helps some of you, because I think it's a good, it has helped a lot of people. I've seen it actually work very well with people. Okay, there we go. I am putting it in right there for you guys. It's in the group right now. Okay, so that way I don't forget, because when I say I'm going to do something, if I don't do it right then and there, I get so busy I forget. Even when we do our show, you know, I know Goddess Rhonda is doing the same thing. We leave and we don't just go to bed. We have so many other things to do. We go and we start getting other work done.
Exactly right.
We're always working. We're always working. So even though it's late at night, we leave. We finish with the show and we go on to do other work that we have to do. So I will forget. So I just did it for you guys. I hope it helps you guys. Let me know, you know, because whether you're using a meditative style or just something that you say to yourself every morning and every night, it's what I've seen work for people. All right.
I have something for you guys too. I'm just digging it out here. Whenever I have the video on, my computer gets a little slower. Just bear with me, dudes. I think this might be it, but I'm not sure.
Let me see if I can put it in the way that it's set in individually, because the lines kind of got. Let me okay. So I am able to see. Okay. I'm open to all. Okay, that's all good.
Okay, here, I found it here.
Okay.
I have a little, I'm not going to put the whole thing in, the whole thing, but what I will do is I will put in here something that you say in front of a mirror, which is, I recognize and accept that I am a beautiful spiritual being, blessed, loved, and gifted by the divine universal life forces, and am therefore worthy of the love that I now grant to myself. From this day forward, I vow to love, honor, and cherish myself, knowing that by doing so, I will become an even greater tool of the universe and to those around me. And as my spirituality grows stronger, I grow stronger on all levels. As my love for myself grows stronger, I am better able to attract loving people into my life. I gladly help myself in the same way that I help others. I instill peace into my life, and in the same or greater manner that I instill in others, recognizing that I am as worthy as those I seek to help. I recognize the beauty that is within me, the intelligence, the kindness, and I am grateful for the wonderful characteristics that have been gifted to me, and honor and respect them. The universe smiles upon me, and I am filled with joy, with love, and respect for myself. For if the universe finds me such a worthy addition to this reality, then I do as well. Goddesses of love, please bless me with a greater capacity to love myself. Let me always be reminded to respect my life, my beauty, my spirituality, my positive passions, and all those things that I have been blessed and gifted with. Safely raise my love frequency to such a level that I am filled with divine self-love, which will then be reflected to those around me, creating loving vibrations wherever I go. From this moment forward, whenever I look into the mirror, I will see myself in a joyous, loving light. I will look into my eyes, the beautiful windows to my soul, and see the warmth that shines through them. I will see the wisdom that is reflected through them from lessons from the past. I will see the gratitude that shines through them for being allowed to exist in the present. I will see the hope and anticipation of a happy future. My eyes are beautiful. When I look into a mirror, I will look at my mouth and be filled with joy as my lips curve upward into a smile. How beautiful my lips are when smiling, in repose or speaking words of wisdom or even frivolity. My mouth is beautiful. When I look into a mirror, I will look at my hair and see shining antennas to the universe. It is soft, shining, and filled with my vitality. My hair is beautiful. When I look at my body, I will see my beautiful history of courage and strength. That which used to be called scars are badges of survival. My physical form has matured and has granted me even more beauty, and I am even greater, more skilled in the art of love. My body is beautiful. I know that I was made a beautiful person, and that beauty is reflected in my being from my soul outward. It shines like a beacon, and the entire world can see its shining light, even as I see this. And for this, I am grateful. And again, I say these words on my behalf. I love myself. I honor myself. I cherish myself. I am loved by myself and others in a positive way. I have passion for my spirituality. I am kind to myself. I appreciate and enhance my gifts and blessings. I appreciate and enhance my sexuality and sensuality. I appreciate and enhance my good health. I appreciate and enhance my beauty inside and out. I enhance my social stature. I appreciate and enhance my charm and charisma. I appreciate and enhance my knowledge and wisdom. I always have more than enough and support myself. I give to myself. So many people help me. I enhance my spirituality. I enhance my magical gifts and abilities. I am proud to be me. I love myself. I honor myself. I cherish myself for now and for always. So it is. And that's the meditation that I teach in my self-love classes, but I'll post it in the room and you can read that to yourself
But
every
it's so
morning.
funny. Yeah. We both have similar, not similar, but you know what I mean? We both have these self-love affirmation meditations. And I just put the part that I had initially put was just the main part of saying I love myself, but I put the whole meditation in there. So you put yours as well too, Goddess. I think the more we give them is anything that you can do to help yourself. And whatever works for you of all of these things, just learn to love yourself some more. Okay, and honor yourself for who you are. And I think from there, that whole thing that a lot of us have about um, giving of ourselves to people would be better because now we love ourselves, so we love giving what we have. You know?
It does it. It makes you stronger and even better
Yeah.
able
But the
to.
biggest part is to really learn to love yourself. It's a difficult thing for a lot of people, which I had not realized until I started working with a lot of people with it. And that's the entire meditation that I use with people when I do it, that I have to have them keep repeating it. And majority of them literally are in tears. And I know it's the same thing with you for just from hearing the words that you have with that meditation, Goddess Rhonda. People will cry because it's like a very cathartic thing that they go through with that whole thing. But just learn to love yourselves because
Learn to love
you're
yourself.
worthy of being loved.
I know we kind of got a little bit off point, but it's
We
important. I think
did.
it
We
was more
did.
to put that out there. There was a
Yeah.
reason that that theme came up, and we started talking about it.
Yeah.
We can do our moon phases later. It's more important, I think, to promote self love and self.
Yeah, and that's okay. That's what this show is about. We adapt, we improvise based on what we communicate with you guys. Remember, from the very beginning, we said this show is about you guys. So even if we have that whole topic planned out, we love working with you guys, and we kept seeing a pattern of things that are being said, and we thought we had to cover that. So I'm glad we did.
That's exactly right. All righty. So I think what first before I say goodbye, I want to make sure I copy the chat so we can put it in our because once we say go, then the chat kind of disappears, and I'm always mad.
Yeah, yeah. And she's going, "Oh no, it's all gone," you know.
Oh no! So we are going. Let me just give me just 1 second. Of course, we really do hope that you guys can come and join us at Witch Fest. That would be just really way awesome to get to meet some of you.
Come up
And
and say hi to us and just kind of go, Goddess Rhonda and Goddess Starr. It's me from the show on live on chat room. You know, we would love to give it. Yeah.
and so we're as always, we're really grateful, and we really hope that you guys can make it. You're just an awesome family, and we're just grateful to have you in our lives. We're grateful that you join us each week. It's really uplifting to us. You're our family, and it's just such a pleasure to come
Yeah.
here. It's like, oh, it's more like hanging out with friends. Like,
Yes.
oh, it's time to go have wine with our friends and chat and commune and have a good time with each other.
You know
And
that you know that whole thing that you just remind as you said it. I thought of what was the name of that bar that you walk in and you walk in and you feel like you're home because they're friends and they
oh,
all say hi
cheers!
to, huh?
That was that show, Cheers, wasn't it?
There you go. And they said that you walk in and if you feel like you're at home and everyone knows your name.
And
Well,
everyone
there you go. This
that
is
was
that show.
that's exactly right. That's kind of what it's like. Of course, we have to bring our own wine, but that's all good.
That's okay.
It's all good. It's all good. So let me just paste this so that I have it. Okay, I think I got it. All of it for once.
And if you miss us this year, there's always next year. We try to do this every year.
And
So
it's
one of
around
these
the same
years,
time.
all of us are going to get together and go, hey, from the Witch Times television series, it's us. All of us.
It's usually at this pretty much the same time every year, so you can plan
Yes.
for it. Like if you can't make it this year, then maybe you can make it next year.
Yes.
Okay, I think I've got everybody here. I think I did it for once.
You
All
got
right.
all the things?
So
Okay.
we are going to wish you guys, of course, a very, very happy new moon, a new
Yes.
wonderful, blessed moon. And we'll see you in a couple of weeks. We will try to figure out how to do some live stuff if
Yeah.
possible, or at
We will
least if
try.
nothing else, they do. If nothing else, there is someone that records stuff, so at least there'll be like a video.
Yeah, Rev Don always does a video on
Yeah, he
Witches Fest
does.
each year, and it's always amazing to go back and see all that he does. So usually because that's what he does, he literally goes around and videotapes Witches Fest. So that I will see if what we can do is get the videos from him and kind of post it for you guys so you can see it. Okay. But thank you guys very much for everything and for just being who you guys are. All
Yeah,
right.
love you.
Okay.
Mwah.
Yeah, love you guys.
All right, so with
All
that
right.
said, marry
Merry
me,
meet, merry
marry
part,
part.
and merry meet again.
Good
And
night,
as always, it's a
everyone.
pleasure. Good night, everyone. Mwah.